So the way we value your property, so we have a specific framework that's gonna fit every different area, okay? And the way we do it, first we want to verify that when we are checking your property, okay, we want to verify the actual dimensions, okay? Because there is a big discrepancy between properties in what is on the tax assessment, on the legal description, on the actual property, okay? Also, we want to make sure that, within the area, what's going to be the demand for your property, okay? Because in some areas, they're going to be like high demand, okay, but low supply, okay? So that's a good thing for your property, okay? But it's the other way around, lots of supply, low demand, okay? That's going to be majorly affect your property, okay? Because again, if you're going to go to all these open platforms to sell land or sell a property, what you're going to see for sale doesn't mean that's going to be the actual value of the property. So that's very, very important. And also, if you're going to go to those sections, many land agents don't really know how to price land, okay? So most of these prices, that doesn't make any sense, okay? Also, in some areas, okay, sometimes the landowner, okay, they just want to get so much top dollar for the land, so they're happy to wait for so long, okay? They're happy to wait for 2, 3, 5 years, okay, just to sell the property, because they have an unreal expectation of what the land is worth. So again, we're going to check your access to the property, if it has a legal or a physical access. It's very important how it's going to affect our land. We're going to check the zoning of your property. What can we do and what we cannot do, okay? If it's like within an HOA or POA community, okay? Again, if it's an HOA or POA community, actually your value is worth less, okay? Because if you have more restriction on your property, the value goes down. If there is low restriction, the value goes up, okay? Because people can do whatever they want to do. Because there is something called in real estate, the highest and best use, okay? So if I can put like let's talk like affordable housing. If I can put a mobile home or park a trailer, maybe I want to, to be there like every few months, or like put a cabin, that's going to be more attractive to people than if I'm going to go to a gated community that I can build a specific property and I need to pay these ongoing fees and all this maintenance fees. So it's a very important thing in our research, okay? The next thing is wet areas. If it's wetland or flood zone, again, it's add more restriction. Also, it's reduce the usable area of your property. So again, if you have 10 acres and 50% out of that is wetland, actually your property is 5 acre, okay? So you're gonna treat your property as a 5 acre, assuming the 5 acre is usable, it's flat, the topography is good, the soil type is very good, okay? So if we just talk soil type, we have access to soil map, okay? So again, it's not 100% accurate, but we roughly can know, okay, if the property that you have, okay, we can see if it has the same soil type like other properties in the area that has some buildings on it, okay? So again, we can assume that if you have a good soil, okay, so if you don't have access to public sewer, okay, we can also put a sewer system, because if it's not, it makes your lot unbuildable and has a massive effect on your valuation. Okay, it's very important. Utilities, right? So again, most of the properties we are looking at, needs to be buildable. So we are looking at utilities, okay, and what can we do, okay? If the cost to bring the utilities to your property is very high, okay, so someone needs to pay for it. So again, most in the case, we want to put a house on your property, and we want to hold it for the long term. If you need to buy a property plus invest all these funds in, putting a well, put a septic, do a survey, all this kind of stuff, do perk tests, it costs a lot of money, okay? The next thing, if your property is wooded or not. So again, if you're going to put a house, we need to clear the driveway. We have to clear some of the area. So a timber is good for your property. But again, if all your property is heavily wooded, it's not ideal. Okay, and like we said, topography, right? Again, if it's on the side of the mountain, and it may have a nice view, which is a benefit. Okay, so actually, that also is going to be a disadvantage. Okay, because the cost of putting house on the side of the hill, it's going to increase the construction cost by 15 to 20%. And again, who's going to pay for it? Because the end value is going to stay the same. So who's going to suffer it? It's only the owner of the property. So again, we are looking at all those parameters, okay? And that's how we decide Okay, we have some factors in our systems. Okay, how we can add more points, lose more points, add more points. If you have the negative and the positive, that's how we are coming to a price that's going to meet your need. And also what you take into consideration, again, if you're going to go to the agent round, first, usually they're going to list your property a lot higher than the market value, because land selling usually within, 12 to 24 months, okay? So it costs you a lot of time, okay? In most of the cases, you don't have any mortgage against your property, okay? But the agent's gonna want to make you happy, okay? So they're gonna list your property in a very high price, okay? And then so probably it's not gonna sell at this price, but also you need to pay him all the commission and everything. So it's gonna be around 10% or maybe a bit more plus closing costs, okay? So you need to factor that in. Anyway, you're not gonna get it, okay? So that's how the way we price. We want to price a bit lower than this price. So again, we're not gonna send you an offer like 10 cents on the dollar, right? But we're gonna offer something that also we can make some money, but also you can also have a good value for property in a short period of time.